أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm going to do this like a workshop assembly. And I'm going to imagine that all of you are in front of me and we'll do it in exactly the same way. So we're going to start off with a really loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I don't think you've had breakfast because I can't hear you. I need to hear you in my soul. Come on, really loudly. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Okay, so what's the date today? Okay, I'm not going to hear the same thing about it being the 28th of March. What is the Islamic date? I can hear some of you. 3rd of Sha'ban, 1441. Absolutely phenomenal day. I mean, phenomenal. Phenomenal month, phenomenal day. And we'll talk about this in a minute. What's the time for Salah today? Do you remember? Have you looked it up? Have you got your calendars in front of you? Or your mom's phone's in front of you? What have you got? Have a look. All right. So the time for Salah for Fajr today was 4:01. What was the time for Zohar? Or what is the time for Zohar? It's going to come now. 12:13. And what about Maghrib? 6:37. I know in a month, if I were to ask you this, you would know the time of Maghrib to the second. Because it's going to be Ramadan and you're going to be fasting, so you can know exactly when you break your fast. But we need to know them now as well. Okay, so let's first look at the month. It's a month of Sha'ban. It's a month that the Prophet said is his month. And there are 4 things you need to remember in this month. First, to recite salawat as much as possible. Secondly, to be able to do istighfar, to think about what we've done wrong, to be able to repent for them, to say I'm sorry, to correct them, so that we start the month of Ramadan like a phenomenally fresh month. And we'll talk about it later then. The third thing, to be able to give charity. And you know, these are days when it's really, really difficult for people. So we've got these sadaqah boxes. They're pop-up boxes like that. And they say sadaqah up there. We can post them to you. All you have to do is write to us at admin@hujjatworkshop.com and we'll post them to you. They actually go flat like that, I think. Let's try. So they become flat like that. They go in an envelope and you can collect sadaqah and we can use them for people who are having really difficult times at the moment. And the 4th thing is to be able to fast. If you can't fast a whole fast, start with an intention. Do half. It doesn't matter. Just try. And it's really, really important. Now today. So today is the birthday of Imam Husayn alayhi salam. My goodness. There is no other phenomenal person like him. Remember, he was the grandson of the most phenomenal man, most awesome man who walked the earth. And he was like an embodiment of the Prophet. It's his birthday today. So we'll talk about him tiny little bit so we know a little bit about him. So why are we so much in love with him? I mean, the moment you say Husayn, there is something inside that goes whoosh. You know, that heart sort of splits apart. And it says Husayn. And tears come to your eyes. Why? Why are we so close to him? Well, we normally fall in love with those who bring out the best in us, who bring out God in us. And that's what Imam Husayn is all about. I'd like to tell a story that I heard since I was a child. And I've told my children and I've told you too. So repetition is good. So when Imam Husayn alayhi salam was born, all the angels wanted to come down to the earth and congratulate Sayyidah Fatima. So can you imagine all of them? If you just close your eyes today, all these angels coming down to congratulate the Prophet, to congratulate Sayyidah Fatima, to congratulate Imam Ali, they're all coming down. Now there's one angel, it is said, called Futrus or Fitrus, and he was confined to an island because allegedly when he was doing something, it took a little bit more time. Angels don't disobey God, but maybe he was procrastinating a bit, like we do when we're at home. So, and he sees all these angels passing by and he said, what's happening today? And they said, didn't you know? Husayn is born. There are 5 in the Ahlul Kisa. And today completes it. The 4 becomes the 5. He's born and it's can't you see? Look at all the celebrations going on. He said, can I come as well? So Jibreel says, well, gotta have God's permission before you can come. Well, he got permission to come down. Now, when he was confined to this island, his wings were taken away. And Jibreel carries him, takes him down, and as soon as he touches the cradle of Imam Husayn, his wings come back. That is awesome. So today you got to raise your hand and say, Ya Allah, give me the wings to be my best. That's what today is about. It's just phenomenal. We'll also look at the end about a dua that Imam Husayn taught to Imam Zaynul Abideen in difficult times like we have today. But we'll look at that at the end. The next birthday tomorrow is that of Hazrat Abbas. Oh my goodness. Abbas, again. You cannot say Hussein without saying Abbas. You cannot say Abbas without saying Hussein. They're like linked together. And when you think of Abbas, you think of somebody who was loyal. Loyal means somebody who keeps their word. They don't break their word. It's just amazing, amazing. And you got to strive in life to be somebody's Abbas. Somebody whom you can help through your life. So Abbas really is the dua of Imam Ali. Abbas, in essence, is loyalty. And then we have Imam Sajjad. That follows third, fourth, fifth. It's like in a row. And when you think of Imam Sajjad, what do you think? Imam Zaynul Abideen. Well, I think of two things. He had two things to do in his life. Because after the event of Ashura, life was difficult. It wasn't easy. So what did he do? His two jobs were, first, to make sure that this community that had been split apart is brought together. Do you know how he did it? He did it through one institution called Majlis. Him and Sayyidah Zainab started that. Majlis puts us all together, wherever we are, from wherever we come, whoever we are. You don't need a qualification, whatever age you are. And just by remembering his father, we remember what truth is all about. So he brought us all together. And the second thing he did was he had to teach. He had to teach people how to behave as Muslims. Now that was difficult because in the times he lived in, my goodness, he wasn't allowed to do that. So he taught that through du'as. Everybody loves du'as. And the book in which his du'as are put together is called Sahifatul Sajjadiyah. Now since you're home, see if you can pick it up. See what you can do. Now the normal question I ask you in assembly is, what is in the news today? And I know you're going to say COVID-19. It is. It's in the news. It's everywhere. So what are we to do? First of all, you have to follow what the medical profession tells you to the T. Don't cut corners. It's really, really important to listen to them. Let me tell you a story. See, Prophet Musa had a tummy ache one day. And when he had this tummy ache, he was going to go straight to God. He said, I'm going to run up the mountain, Mount Sinai. I'm going to go to talk to God and say, Ya Allah, I have a tummy ache. Please cure my tummy ache. And he goes up and he says, Ya Allah, goes to the place where the burning bush was. And he says, Ya Allah, my tummy really hurts. Now, just as he was coming up the mountain, there was a man sitting there who says, Oh, Prophet of God, what's the matter? And he said, my tummy hurts. And he says, look, I'm a doctor. I can help you. He said, I don't need you. I just need God. And he runs up, right? Literally runs up the mountain. When he gets to God and he says, my tummy hurts, Allah tells him, Musa, I sent you a doctor. Why didn't you ask him? So it's the same thing for us. The first thing we've got to do is listen to what we're told. Stay at home. Wash your hands. Look after yourself. There's so many things they tell you. I'm not a medic. I have a son who's a doctor. And last Thursday, and every Thursday now, we're going to stand outside. And we're going to clap our hands in gratitude. We're going to bang saucepans. But it's in gratitude of those who serve us, whether they're doctors or nurses or people in the health, in the national health, or anybody who does essential services. Even those people come pick our rubbish up. Can you imagine how much they do? We do that. And we did that all together at 8 o'clock. Maybe all together at every Zohar time. We will read dua, for I know that changes and moves mountains. So the dua I'd like to talk to you today about is the dua that Imam Husayn alayhi salam, whose birthday we celebrate today, taught his son Imam Zaynul Abideen on the day of Ashura. And he said to him, Oh my son, I'm going to read this out to you. He said, Oh my son, I am teaching you a dua, which you should remember. It was taught by Jibreel to my grandfather, who passed it on to my mother Fatima. Whenever you have a special need, or you are faced with a difficult time, or a crisis, or there's grief, or there's hardship, you should recite it. Now remember when he taught it, on the day of Ashura, when he's coming to say goodbye to Imam Sajjad. So this dua is phenomenal. It's on the website. Write to us and we'll send it to you, whatever you want. So here we go. Let's recite this dua together. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bihaqqi Yasin wal Qur'anil Hakim. I ask you by the name or in the name, by the truth of Yasin, and Yasin was a title of the Prophet. Wal Qur'an al Hakim, and the Qur'an that is full of wisdom. Wa bihaqqi Taha wal Qur'an al Adim. And I ask you with the wasila in the name of Taha, this is another name, another title of the Prophet. And the Qur'an that is phenomenal, that is so great. Ya man yaqdiru ala hawaij as-sa'ilin. O the one who is able to fulfill the wishes of those who ask. Ya man ya'lamu ma fi dhamir. O the one who knows what's inside my innermost heart. Ya munaffisan anil maqrubin. O the one who takes away, who banishes sorrow from those who are sad. Ya mufarrijan anil maghmumin. O the one who takes away grief from those who are grieved. Ya Rahim al-Shaykh al-Kabir, and you can recite this a lot of times, or one who has mercy on those who are old, and these are the people who are most affected at the moment. Ya Raziq al-Tifl al-Saghir, or the one who provides sustenance to those who are really young. Ya Man la yahtaju ila tafsir, or one who doesn't need an explanation. We don't need to give him an explanation. He knows. Salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Send your blessings on Muhammad and his progeny of Albi. And now ask. So at namaz time, 12:13, all of us, we're going to stand there on our musallas. And before our salah, we're going to raise our hands in dua. And we're going to ask Allah, we're going to plead to him and tell him, Ya Allah, please save us. Take this bala away. Save those who are serving us. Everything you want to ask, take this virus away. And remember, this virus dies of boredom. It doesn't like it when you do not transmit it. So keep your social distance, stay at home, stay safe, and remember Hussein today. Just say Ya Hussein every single time. And finally, we said this all the time. Before you drink water, remember to say Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. And just like any other assembly, we're going to end with what we recite every single Saturday. And you will recite with me. Okay. You ready? Okay. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Li khamsatun atfi biha harra al-waba il-hatima al-Mustafa wal-Murtada wa abnahuma wal-Fatima. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah وعلى الأرواح التي علت بفنائك عليك مني سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.